Oh, pilots and ground crew, welcome. Hey, that tripod's crooked. That's better. Welcome back to my channel. If you subscribe to me, you'll know this already. I use Skyzone Fpv goggles. Right, love them. Never had a problem with them till now. Right, but the problem is what I have caused. Right. Now, I use the version 1 goggles. I got them years ago and I never bothered upgrading, right, because they still work brilliantly, so there's no need to go pay a few £100 out more when you've got a pair of goggles that work perfectly. No point. Yeah, so like I said, I've got the Skyzone version 1. If I remember, I'll put a picture up. If not, you'll see them in a minute. But the thing is, you've got diversity antennas built into them. That's another reason why I like the Skyzone. They have the antennas built in, unlike the Fat Sharks where you have to go out and buy the modules left, right and bloody centre. And then, anyhow, yeah. Now, just yesterday actually, I took my patch antenna off, right, to put a different patch on. Right, because I've got a patch for the linear antennas. Right, for little indoor, I can't remember the name. I'll show you, well, when we go down to the table I'll show you. But what I've done is, when I put the new patch on and tightened it, I tightened it up too tight. I don't know where my brain was, right, but as I tightened the patch on, for some reason, which I've never done this before, right, I went too far and I heard the and I thought straight away, I know exactly what's happened there. The actual antenna connector has snapped off somewhat inside, if you know what I mean. And I tested it and it's not working. Right? Well, it don't really matter how I tested it, but I took my other antenna off and I did this test with this signal tester. But that's not the point of this video. So what I'm going to have to do is strip them down, right, and see if I can repair it. Now, even though I've never had a problem with the goggles before, I have opened them. I'm one of these people, you get something and you open it just to see what's inside. I have opened them in the past. So now I'd started to open them, right, yesterday, and I thought to myself, hang on, check YouTube. And I checked and I couldn't find any video anywhere with anyone showing the Skyzone V1 goggles opened up. So I stopped and I thought I'll do this quick video, right, well it might be a long video, I don't know, depending on how many problems I come across, and just to show you what to do if you can, right, because I don't know if it can be repaired yet. I ain't got that far, right, but because I've already unscrewed it, when I start to put everything back together again, I'll simply show you then where the screws go, right, because I'm not going to connect everything up again just to start again, if you know what I mean. So what I've done is I've put a couple of tripods and I'm going to mount the camera from the top so you'll get a direct overview look, right, and you'll be able to see better. But we may have to jump about because I'll do that down here where I am now so you can get a view, but I'll have to do some soldering, right, I reckon. Don't know yet. Well, I will. But I'll have to run upstairs for that and change camera angles. But anyhow, you've got a gist of what's going on. It's Skyzone version 1. Never had a problem with them. And this happened because it's completely and utterly my fault, because they are brilliant goggles. So I'm not knocking the goggles, believe me. So let's switch camera angles and crack them open gently, and I'll talk you through what you have to do to try and repair them, see if they work. Okay then, pilots and ground crew, let's start off with zooming down to the table and having a look at the goggles. Cheers. Right then pilots, here we go. I've took the screws out as I said to you, but I'll show you where they go and how everything more connects back up when I'm putting everything back together again, and you basically do it in reverse. But the first thing I did was remove the faceplate. Alright, can't help you with that one, but I've already got a video about repairing it, but faceplates are quite simple. Let me just move that out the road. And what had happened was I was taking off this patch and putting a different patch on basically, and I'd over tightened it, and this connector, which is inside, built into the goggles, that I was over connected it, I heard it snap, and it snapped off basically. So 100% my fault. So that's what the repair's about. So what, there's 2 screws underneath, but you'll see them at the end. Once you take your screws out, there's some clips at the side, which I'll show you in 1 second. And you want this top part, right, literally comes off and there's nothing there. So you're quite safe for that. If these buttons happen to fall out, just slide them back in. But there's nothing connected to this top plate, so there's no panic about any wiring or out like that. So I'll just move that to one side now. Now this is your main guts. I'll zoom in a bit more. I don't know if it'll focus. I don't want to zoom in too close or it won't bloody focus. I hope that has. I'll just come. Oh, I'll just come out a bit. Come on, focus, 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 focus. Right, I'm pretty sure that's in. Actually, I'm coming out a little bit more. There. Pretty sure that's in focus now. Right, the first thing I've done, you see these ribbon cables here, right, there's one big ribbon cable there, and on this side there's 2 ribbon cables, a small one and a big one. I've already unplugged the small one. Take your time, don't just yank at them. I use some hemostats to pull them out real gently. You don't want to be bending the pins or out like that. And then there's the second one to remove, the bigger one, which I've already loosened, as you can see. Alright, just be careful, that's all I'll say, just be careful. Alright, and then you've got one at the side here, a ribbon cable, and I'm just going to remove that because I'm trying to get at this section here. Alright, because you can tell from there, that's where it's come out of, and that's where it's snapped off, and that's where it'll need connecting back on again. Alright, so just going to remove this ribbon cable here gently. There's always one, isn't there? Oops, right, that's going to be awkward that way, so I can't get in. Oh, or have I? Let's try. No, I can't get in at it that way. So now there's 2 little screws. There's one there and there's one over here. I would have to take this plate off anyhow to get at for soldering the connector back on. So I'm going to remove the 2 little screws first. Always, whenever you're doing something like this, right, well, the first thing you can do is take photographs left, right and centre, so you know where everything goes back in. But more important, well, as important, have a really good look at where everything is, so that if all of a sudden something bounces off and you think, oh god, where the hell did that come from? Like this little contrast buzzer on the top here button, that actually comes off. You can take that off, right, and it shot off when I took the top off, so I've just popped it back down again. Anyway, yeah, now the second screw. It's a bit hard here because the light's not great. It's dark outside and this is not the best lighted area. Right, 2 little screws. I'm just double checking they're the same size, which they are, so I know it don't matter if I get them mixed up. And now I'm very, very gently lifting this up just to see if it's connected to anything, right? Or if anything loose is going to drop, which we don't know yet, but no, it looks... No, it's just the module with that ribbon cable, that's all it is. Alright, so now I know that, I can turn it round, lift it up a bit more, just straighten the ribbon cable a little bit. You can see inside there, oh, you can see where it snapped off as well. Right, so I have to get that ribbon cable out. I'll just try the old fashioned way. Oh, that's in tight. I'm just going to get my head in because I want to check it's not glued in anywhere. Got my glasses on. No, I can't see any glue. Feels a bit tight going in with the hemostats again. There we go. Alright, take your time when you're doing jobs like this. You do not want to rip that cable. Now you notice I haven't moved my left hand yet. Alright, this is when I said a few minutes ago about thinking and having a good look. Right, pause yourself. If you're doing something you've never done before, pause yourself. Right, now I'm letting my brain sink into where everything goes. I know this one on the inside goes in there, the big one will only go there and the little one will only go there. But I'm just letting my brain sink in so I know where everything goes. And just having a good look. Alright, now we can see, I'll just move this to one side. We can see straight away this is snapped from there. Oh, is it that? No, it's definitely not that way. Sorry if I've gone quiet, I'm just concentrating. Right, I'll just put that down. If you can see these two bits of solder there, I'll try zooming in a bit. I don't know if it'll focus if I zoom right in, but how's that focused? Come on, are you focused? Can't tell with this little screen I'm looking at. But there's two, for want of a better word, blobs of solder there. Now the one, well, in the centre, even though there's one missing there, but in the centre, wants to run to the centre of your connector. It has snapped. Right, now I don't have a spare connector. However, if I do a joint with it, a solder joint, right, it should hold itself in place again. And the two outsides are more of a, well, they're like a negative feed, right, and to hold it in place, that's the wrong way around. So this on the right or the left as you look is simply a bit of spare solder that's run through from this side. So I'll need to get solder on there, and it will go, oops, turn it over again, and it will solder in like such, and that feels like it might go. Now this centre pin, there's no way I'm going to be able to put any solder in that, and like I said, I don't have a spare connector. What I will use is liquid. I'll just zoom out again. Whoa, up there, lad. There you go. What I will use for this centrepiece, and maybe even all round it, is something called liquid solder. It's like a paste. You'll see it in a minute when we swap to the workbench upstairs. It's like a paste, and as you apply heat to it, it dries like a solder, but you don't, it's not a solder. You'll see it, like I say, when we switch sides and go upstairs. But I'm hoping that will work. Now the good thing about the Skyzone goggles, right, even if that does not work anymore, the other side will still work. The other side of the diversity will still work, so I will still be able to fly, right, because I tested it. Right, so it's not as if I have to throw my goggles away. They will still work. Right, but hopefully this will work. And if not, I can always take it off again and see if I can get hold of a connector. Right, because by the looks of this, it's a bog standard connector. what you might get from you know, I ain't got one here, but you know, if you was putting an angle on here, you know what I mean. The connectors are very, very similar to this if you take the screw part off. Or even actually thinking about it, if you've got an old VTX video transmitter, right, that's broken, if you take the connector off the VTX, it will still have its cable on the inside, and the VTX connector almost looks identical to this off the top of my head, which, let's be honest, they're doing the same sort of job. One's receiving, one's sending. So we'll check that when we swap to the weight bench upstairs. Okay then, but I wanted to do this bit downstairs with my overhead camera so you can get a good look. So when I put this back together again, that's the wrong way. When I put this back together again, that ribbon cable will go in there, big one in there, and this will sit in here. Okay, let's take this piece and this piece to the weight bench upstairs. I'll leave that there. We can do that when we come back down again. And yeah, let's swap tables. Okay then, cheers. Right then, pilots, this is what I meant. On well, your VTX, this is a Lumineer one, as you can see. It has the same sort of connector, but that one's a bit smaller. So I've got an old TS5828S. They've got quite good little receivers, and these things are only about, whoa, it's getting shot. Come on, focus. Is that in focus yet? Yeah, there you go. There, you can see them anywhere. As you say, they're a one-off 600 milliwatt, so be careful, that's all I'll say. Right, but they're only about £12. The cheapest chips they are. Right, but this one's bust. So I've actually took the connector off it. Right, took the connector off it there. Let me zoom out a bit. I'm way all over the place here. There you go. Yeah, took the connector off it. Right, just to see if I'd able to use it, because it's still got its pin in. If you can see that little pin there, if I hold it up to the camera, you'll see it's got a pin in the centre, which unfortunately the one I've taken off, the pin is buggered, the centre pin. Right, but this connector is too small. It will fit, it will actually fit, right, but the connection part, the casing part, if you notice it that way, hopefully, it's bloody hard getting this in shot here. You notice it that way, it's shorter because it's not designed to go into goggles. So I'm going to have to try and repair the one that come off. So I'll just move them out the road, and I'm going to have to, as I say, repair the one that I've taken off. Now, I was talking about liquid solder. We all know about your normal solder and stuff like that. I'm not going into that. This is a liquid solder. It's, well, I keep saying liquid. It's not a liquid. Right, if I hold it up, let you have a look. Oops, if I get in shot. It's a paste that comes in like a syringe. That's the solder there. Right, and you basically squeeze it out. You don't need a lot. In fact, what I do is I squeeze mine out onto a bit of plastic. That'll do. I squeeze mine out onto a bit of plastic and use a toothpick. Use a toothpick to apply it where I want it. You don't need a lot. That will be, well, more than enough. Too much actually, but still. Put the lid back on. Put the cap back on. Great for if you're doing really tight jobs where you can't get a soldering iron in. Right, because you simply apply heat. Depending on which type you get, you can actually apply the heat just with a hot air gun. Alright, if it's at a lower melting temperature, you just have to check. Alright, or you have to apply high heat. This one I've got is a medium, shall we say. So I can use, I can't use a hot air gun, but I can use my soldering iron and I just joined a couple of bits of wire together just to show you. All I did was put a blob of that paste in the middle, touched it with my soldering iron, and rock solid. That's not going anywhere. Comes in handy for certain jobs, right? So let's take a look at this then. Let's see what we can do. We can put, you see, on this side the soldering pad itself is gone. Right, I reckon it's stuck on the other side of there when I ripped it off. I'll try and clean that with a soldering iron a bit. On the left hand side there's still the solder pad there, so that's good, that'll help hold. Underneath, as we can see, there's still plenty of solder there, and that pin snapped, and the centre pin is where your signal is going to go. That's a bit loose, right? But I don't mind, I'm not going to remove the solder off that. I'm just going to add more to it, and hopefully it'll spread out, right, and run into that centre pin that snapped. It's one of them trial and error things. I don't know if this will work. We shall see. Now I'll zoom out a bit because way wrong way. I don't know if I'm going to get this in shot anyway, but we'll see what happens, and then we'll go back downstairs, connect her all back up, and see if she works. I'm setting my soldering iron. I was going to clean this up actually, but I'm not gonna. It may help, right, because that pad on that side is missing, and I reckon it's stuck on here when it ripped off. It may help spread out and help it stick. We shall see. But I'm just gonna check the alignment. That'll go in there. That'll actually fit nice. Whoa, drunk again. That'll fit nice and neat. And I can even put a bit of paste. Right, let's start this off. I'm going to get a bit of that solder paste and put it straight in the middle. Just a drop straight in the middle where I want that signal to go through, and then plonk that down. Add a bit more to these connectors. That's a good thing, you see, it will just bubble away. It looks like a grey blob at the moment, but once you apply heat it just bubbles away to nothing and becomes a solder joint. I'm just applying some on here. As I say, I've got twice as much out as what I actually need. Don't need that much at all. Look. Just put a little bit on the inside of these connectors. Don't know if this is in shot, probably not, but you know what I'm doing. I've just explained it to you. I'm basically soldering one thing back to another, but doing it in a different way around. On there. Oh, way too much. Just a bit to help flow. Check that side, some on that side, some on that side. Oh, I need a bit on there. There. Right, now I'm just going to push them in. And once I get it in place, I'm just going to get my soldering mat because I don't want to burn my table. It's a soldering pad, that heat resistant, in other words it won't catch on bloody fire. And when I said you don't need much, there's loads of that paste left on there. There's enough to do about 4 more. But still. Right, I'm just going to push that into place and see if I can figure out how to hold it and apply heat without using my fingers to die. Because if I hold it like that and apply heat, so I need Mr. Jig can sit there. Hemostats. And just go in there to hold it in there. Tell you what. Oh, fiddly job, fiddly job. There, we've got it, we've got it. Right, soldering iron. Shit. Need to move the mat a bit closer to my soldering station. Am I still in shot? Doubt it. But you know what I'm doing. I keep still. Right. Just applying enough heat, and when you see the solder start to bubble, remove. And remove. Right. I'm just going to leave that a second before turning it over, because it's a paste. Right, it takes longer to dry rather than a normal solder. Now, obviously, I can't tell yet if I've put enough heat on for it to stick. I won't know till I've moved it, which I'm going to do now. Hopefully that won't fall off. No, so that end has held. Now I'm turning it over to do the same on this side. You'll be able to see that side better now. Right. See where the all big blobs of grey stuff? Well, the solder will melt in, and hopefully, if I've lined it up right, the ground part, for want of a better word, won't interfere with the signal. But we shall see. It's all trial and error. It's a bit. Ow. Yeah, that. Not that way. Right, I'll have to take a bit of this solder off because it's spread over. I'll just show you. As you can see there, I've spread the solder over, so I've made a blob. Literally a blob. So I'm going to remove a bit of that solder. Sometimes I've got a gun to do that, but sometimes, if you're lucky, like that. There you go. Perfectamundo. Perfectamundo. Right. Just give that a second again to cool. Now that looks a lot neater now, if I can get that back in shot. Can you see that? Looks a lot neater. It's not perfect, because remember, this is a patch up. It's not connecting up a new part or out like that. It's a patch up. And I just want to make sure I'm getting a tiny more blob of solder to make sure that centre connection. So I'm putting a blob more solder from the centre piece, basically along the centre piece. Alright, trying to keep it separate, because the sides are like your ground. If you know, as you look at it again there, your sides, your left and right, are like your ground, and the centre piece is your signal. So I've just put a bit more solder along the signal, and I'm going to try and just apply heat for that signal to run a little bit, but real carefully. Turn it, point it. We've got a loose bit of metal there. That's probably the bit that snapped. I'm just going to put a bit more of that solder on the centre. Just making sure it only goes on the centre though. Sorry if I'm not in shot, but now I know that's in the centre. Just apply a little bit of heat to it to get it to melt. Right. Just double check that. Just a close up for me. That's looking okay. It's not perfect, but let's have another look here for you. It's looking a lot better, and it's on. And I'll tell you one thing, this, because it's a repair, once I've got an antenna on here, I'll be putting my patch back on and it'll be staying on. This will not be one to be coming on and off, right? Well, that's quite tight. Just want to yeah, like that. I'm just going to put a tiny more on that centre because I want to make sure that signal pin really does go together, because the last thing I want to do is have to strip all this bloody off again and start again. Right, which I probably won't do anyhow. I probably won't do that anyhow. I'd say, bugger it, I've got one. And I'll try and order a spare part. You'd probably come as a full module like this, but we'll see. Ah, that went nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Right, let's have a close-up double check. It's not perfect, but that's one end, which I'm quite happy about. Like I say, it's not perfect. This is like a elastoplast. It's not a brand new arm, a brand new finger. When you cut your finger, it's elastoplast, not getting a new finger. Right, and that side is on as good as I can get it on. So, and it's on, it's tight, it's on there. Yeah. Oh, it's not on there. Bloody hell, why did I bend that without checking the bottom? It's because there, the actual, the pads for the solder to go on have gone, if you know what I mean. I just thought I was there then. Let's just clean that up a bit. Let's just try some. No, that's okay. It happens. I'm just cleaning that stuff, cleaning the solder. Whoa, hot fingers, hot fingers. Right. It happens, so let's try again. Let's start. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put on the top that I can get at, because we've only got one plate holding it in place now, put some extra solder, or for our American cousins, solder. Put an extra piece of normal solder on there, slide it in. I know that'd be hot on my fingers, obviously, but did that bite? Yes, it did. Hot. Oh, very hot! Bleeding finger burn. Just melt that one down a little bit. Right, that's on tight. Now it's the bottom bit again. Right, where was I? A bit more of that paste. I'm just putting the paste in that centre where the signal is going to come through, and trying to join them together to make a new. It's not going to be perfect, but it's, like I say, without getting a new part. Right. I need a tiny blob of solder, and I'm going to use normal solder. In fact, I may be able to run that just to help hold that there. I'll show you what I've done in a minute, just to help hold it. Yeah, as you can see, right, as you look at it now on the left, right, I've raised the solder up so it's touching the top left corner of the connector, just to give it more of a bite to hold it a bit tighter, which it has done. Like I've said a million times, this is more like a bodge repair, right, because the ideal would be to buy new modules, swap them out. But I don't think they make them anymore for the Skyzone V1s, because I couldn't find one anywhere. I had a good look on the internet. So if you do know anywhere where they make the modules for the Skyzone V1 FPV goggles, please tell me, because this is a bodge job. But I thought I'll show you it on camera, because if this happens to you and you're lucky enough that your pin is still connected, it will be simply a case of sliding it back in as I have done, soldered your two corners left and right, and you will be 100% off again, everything fixed and repaired, no problems. Right, that's been on a while now, yeah. Right, that's the best job I'm going to be able to do under the circumstances. Soldering iron off, camera up, big light behind me so you probably can't see a bloody thing. But what we're going to do is jump back downstairs, or we'll connect the camera back up to overhead, put it back together again, and as I'm putting it back together you'll see how I took it apart, if you know what I mean. Okay, let's jump back downstairs again to where I've set up the overhead camera. Right then, pilots, we are back. Let's see how we did. Like I said, I've said it once, I've said it a million times, it's a band-aid, it's not a perfect repair. I'm not 100% hopeful, however, we'll see. But this was more about, I wasn't that hopeful when I started, this is more about if this happens to somebody else and this part stays in one piece, the pin isn't broken or anything, then you've got a really good chance of soldering it back together, and hopefully this video has helped show you how to do it. Right, let's put it back together again. We know this cable came out of here, so we'll do this first very gently. Do not rush it, and always make sure the pins are facing in the correct direction. I mean, I know this time because the pinholes were facing up when I took it out, so I know I'm putting it back in the right way. Don't force anything. If it don't go in, there's a reason why it's not going in. It came out, so there's a reason why. Check your pins. Check nothing got bent. But don't force it. Sometimes they're a bit stiff. In fact, if we remember, this one was stiff as hell to get out. So I may have to be a little bit more once I get the movement there. I've got a bit of movement there, and I'll give it a little push on one side, yep, and the other side, and the middle. Just take your time. And I know I keep saying take your time, but I'm thinking if new pilots are watching this who've never done anything like this, alright, take your time. Right, I'm pretty sure that's in, it's not going any further. Right then, we can start the reassemble. Right, do this in reverse for the disassemble. Just making sure that cable's tucked under, not catching anything, because this did sit down quite comfortably, this end, so we want it to sit down again, and if it doesn't, we know something's wrong. like at the moment it's not. So what's catching? Oh, the cable. I don't know if you can see there, hopefully you can. This cable here, right, was just catching over that part there. Right, so that's why it won't go down. So it's just a case of take your time. There you go, that's in there. That's in there. Get your little screws. These big holes, the little screws, if you remember, were on the outside. There's a hole there on the outside and there's one on that side on the outside. The more centre hole is for when you connect the big screws up, when you're connecting it back up again, which you'll see in a few minutes. Just plonking my little screw in. Tell you what, let go of that. Put the screw on the screwdriver, which I've got magnetic, and gently, don't force them. You know, this is how all this started, with me forcing one of them bloody things onto there. So just be gentle, treat it like a lady or like a man, depending. Right, that's it. I'm happy with that. Now the big cable wants to go in first, the big ribbon, because they came out the opposite way. The little one goes over the top. I'm just lining that up and giving it a little push, making sure it's in. Oops. Just use my screwdriver. That's got it. That's got it. In case you was wondering, looking at that side, I don't want to tilt it too far, but that's where your lenses are, obviously. And well, you've seen everything else. I haven't took this centre part out to turn it all over because I didn't need to, so there was no need. And if I just get this ribbon cable in now, just gently again. I'm not pushing on the actual cables, I'm pushing on the outside of the ribbon, on the white bit as you look at it. Don't start pushing on the cables or your screwdriver will go straight through and you'll snap them. And as soon as you've got a bit of friction behind you, you know it's in, like that. Right then, just double check everything's flattened down. That looks good, feels good, looks good. Now, as I said, when you do take this apart, the only thing that shot off was that little button. Alright, but the lid, there's nothing connected to the lid. So there's no panic about when you're lifting it up. You don't have to get your head underneath. Oh, there's no cables connected under there, is there? You know what I mean? So it's a case of once you've got it loose and it's off, lift it off and get it out the road. Just to let you know, it's pinned, so to speak, with some clips. There's a little clip on this side, so it's in between the antenna and the end, right, but almost in the middle. A little clip there. And the same on that side, a little clip there which clips into the top plate, and two little grab clips on either side of the camera in the centre which slot into the top plate. Now do this gently, right, because it's one of them things again, you don't want to be forcing stuff. I just have to get my head over here just to make sure I'm lining it up. Right. I would recommend starting one corner at a time and just gently, you hear that? Just gently letting them clip in. Oh, you definitely heard that. This side's a bit of a mess because I had all stickers on and stuff which didn't help when I over tightened it. It's not quite in yet because it's still a bit loose, but just gently squeeze it together. it'll go sooner or later, it'll clip in. Sing a song. Oh, there's another one. That one's biting. That side's in, that's nice and tight, I can feel that. This side's a bit loose, it hasn't bit yet. That side's a bit, I might have got some guck in there actually. Right, that one's it. Come on, you bugger. It was actually easier taking them off. Oh, to take them off, all I did was run my knife along the stickers. I peeled the bit of stickery crap off because it was in the road. And then with a flathead screwdriver, not this one, gently, really slowly went round until I felt where the clip was. Once I felt where the clip was, just gently lifted it up. And I mean gently. This side's not quite grabbing as tight. Or the middle bit in yet either. It could have something to do with how I put that back on. Maybe I've got it up a little bit too high. But we're getting there. Just take your time. I'm not being funny. This could go on for ages. Until it actually clips. I was just about to say I'm going to end the video there because this is going to go on for ages. Just as it actually clipped in. Now this side will be a bit loose because it was a little bit loose. That's why I had some of that glue there, you see, because what had happened was, I told you at the beginning of the video, when I first got these I opened them up and had a look, and the little plastic clip inside I bent a little bit and it's been a bit loose on that bit there ever since. That's why I had a bit of glue on there. Alright, so that is now, I'm not putting the glue back on because it was a nightmare. I'm just going to put a bit of tape or just another sticker or something. It's now, I've got all 4 clips in, including this one. It's just a case of that one's a bit loose. But no, you heard the click, so now you know it's in. And then it's just a case of turn her over. And to unscrew it, you've already seen how easy it is. Once you've got the screws out, that top plate, it's not connected to out, so it's fine to come straight off. The screw basically just go straight in to here. Now there's 2 holes here. The bottom one is for your ear out, don't use that. Use the one just above it. If you line it up with the one that sat by itself at this side, and if you line it up to there, you know you're getting the right screw. And it's simply a case of it's Phillips, small Phillips. Just tighten them up until they bite. That's not bit yet, but just getting it going. They are long screws, but don't go mental. Once you feel, you see that's just starting to bite now, so I'm stopping. Oops, losing this one. Right, that's just starting to get tight now, and I'm stopping. Right, yeah, this side, bloody clip. That tight, tight, tight. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's back in. It's back in. Right, now it's just a case of connecting up the face plate again, which I'm not going to go through all that. It's just a case of face plate literally on these ones, because they weren't designed to have a face plate. So once you get your face plate, I just hot glued mine on just to hold it in place, you know what I mean, with a fan. So that's easy done. And if you have a problem with the fan not working. I've also done a video showing you how to replace the wiring for this fan. Right then, pilots and ground crew, I'll leave it there. I'll give it a test and let you know what happens. I'll let you know when I do a flight test. I'll do a test, right? Because I don't want to get everything out now and mess about, because it's one of them things that'll either work or it won't work. Alright, so let me just get this on without tightening it too tight. Yeah. We don't want that problem again, do we? There, that's it. Yep. Right, yeah, so we'll check her out, do a test, and I'll let you know whether or not it worked or it didn't work. And how I'll let you know is I'll be doing an FPV coffee break coming up, right? And I'll tell you the results, right? Hello, sorry about that. I've had to switch over to my Mobius camera for some reason. My video camera just stopped working, and I've checked it, there's still battery in it, so I'll have to have a look at it, because I hope that's not bust. More bloody expense, one thing and another. Anyway, yeah, at the end I was trying to say I'm doing an FPV coffee break in a few days because the weather's going to be terrible, so I'm not going to get out flying. I've got a few things I want to gab about, and including the Hellgate buzzer. So basically I'll give that a test and let you know on the coffee break. If you're a new pilot, take your time. If you're doing something like this, take lots of photographs, right? And really do take your time, don't rush out. Okay then, thanks for watching, and if you liked, give us a big thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give us a big thumbs up. If you thought it was great, please subscribe. If you thought it was terrible, please subscribe. Okay then, pilots and oh my god. Okay then, pilots and ground crew, thanks for watching and cheers.